Welcome to a broadcast of the recent Lorain County Commissioners' General Meeting. Unless otherwise announced, meetings are held Wednesday morning at 9:30 at the Administration Building, 226 Middle Avenue, 4th floor, downtown Elyria. These are public meetings and you are invited to attend. Agendas are posted prior to the meeting at www.loraincounty.us. Click on Departments to see the Commissioners page, then click on View Agenda.
Okay, well, good morning, everyone, and if you'll please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning and welcome to the Board of Commissioners for January 23rd. Our inspirational word for the day comes from Corinthians. No matter what I say, what I believe, and what I do, I'm bankrupt without love. And we have our dog this morning.
You need the mic?
Microphone.
Where is the microphone? Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Good morning. Today we have it's about 5-month-old pointer lab pit mix. He's available on the 25th, which is Friday. We have 19 other dogs in the kennel, so come on down and take a look. Appreciate it. Happy New Year, everybody.
I was going to say he hasn't been out playing in the mud.
I know,
He's spotted like that, right?
So you name him Puddles.
Madam Clerk.
Under Resolutions Number 1, Investments.
So move.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Appropriations.
So move.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Transfers.
So move.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
No advances, no repayments, requisitions.
So move.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Travel.
So move.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Bills.
So move.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Authorize various personnel actions as indicated on the summary sheet for employees within jurisdiction of Lorain County Commissioners.
That would be County Administrator Jim Cortez. Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioner. Should I say,
Commissioner.
Mr. President?
Mr. President, oh jeez. Or Commissioners, plural, too.
I will ask for a brief executive session. I have a potential hire maybe in the lab. Also want to update you on ongoing labor negotiations. In fact, we'll be meeting this afternoon to work on that. And sell real estate. We're still working on that. So all three matters are, excuse me, all three issues are allowable under the Sunshine Act for executive session discussion. So I'd ask at the conclusion of our regular board meeting today, we go into executive session and we discuss those matters that I've explained. Thank you.
Thank you.
Approve and waive the reading of the minutes of December 19, 2018 and January 14, 2019.
So move.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Adjust various salaries of municipal court employees, which reflects the county's 2/5 share. Lorain Clerk Court Lewis Kalo III, effective January 13, 2019, at a biweekly rate of $1,863.93. And Elyria Clerk Court Eric Roth Gary, effective January 1st, at a biweekly rate of $1,815.08.
So move.
Second.
Discussion.
Trying to figure out who this Louis Kalo is.
Who's this Lewis guy?
Who's Louis?
Lewis, yeah. Yeah, he went to Lorain, got fancy.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. So I guess we want to vote on this
Yeah,
morning? Yeah, I guess we will. Okay.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Approve change order number 1 and 2 to Sites Builders, Inc. for changes in the work on the public health building. Change order number 1 is removable unsuitable soils. Filling requires 10 additional working days at a cost of $27,046.85. And then change order number 2 is a credit of $13,330, eliminating the connection of the outlet, structure, and storm sewer.
So move.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Community Development, accept the recommendation of Downtown Revitalization Loan Fund Loan Review Committee to award 10,500 applications submitted by Kutro Ojus LLC as owned by Andrea Kryzak for real property located in 943 Main Street, Grafton, which will provide financial assistance to complete building improvements in compliance with Downtown Revitalization Loan Fund policies and procedures.
So move.
Second.
Discussion.
And we have Don Romancak, our Community Development Director, with us this morning. I believe you guys have a brief presentation on this.
Very brief.
Okay.
Good morning, Board, and thank you for considering this piece of legislation. Today, we're going to have Economic Development Specialist Reese Dunton give a brief overview to remind the public of what this project or what this program actually entails. It's something that was actually crafted by this board back about a year ago, and this is the first loan we're making from it, and it has actually come out of a need that we had discovered for some of our smaller downtown communities to be able to make resources available to continue to reinvest in our smaller downtowns, not only to keep them looking attractive, but also to continue to serve their role as hubs of commerce and trade. So with that, I'd like to first bring up Reese Dunton, have him go over, and also personally thank not only yourselves for considering this, but also Ms. Andrea Kryzak, who is going to be our first borrower for this program. So with that, thank you very much, and I'll step aside and let the pros handle it. Thank you.
Reese Dunton, Economic Development Specialist, Community Development Department. So, I mean, yeah, the purpose of the loan fund was created about a year ago. This is a time when I don't need to really stress to anyone that funds, especially for small communities, are becoming less and less, and grants are becoming more and more competitive. The most recent downtown set-aside grant, that was only awarded to 2 municipalities last time. So this is something that, again, is housed within the county that we're able to use at our discretion. Anyone that's in the audience that is in with one of the 4 qualifying downtown districts, you're eligible to apply. Granted, if it's a eligible cost, we'll take your application and go through the whole review process.
Do you want to mention which communities are eligible? Or is that on your, there you go, never mind.
Grafton.
She's taken over your presentation.
Grafton, Lagrange, South Amherst, and Wellington. And there's going to be some maps to give a little bit better visual representation. These are, again, as Don stressed, the downtowns that we found to be the more significant areas where there would be a commercial. These are more the rehabilitation project that we had in mind when the legislation was drafted. And as you can see, the approved uses are pretty standard. It's interior, exterior work, really pretty flexible in what we can do. It's not a loan for working capital. It's not a loan for machinery and equipment. This is to rehab the building, whether it's a whole building improvement, but it's definitely designed for small business owners. And you can see some of the approved uses. And now for the first loan, as Don mentioned, the first loan from the program is in Grafton, and will be made at 943 North Main Street, where Andrea has her law offices, and she also happens to be the building owner. And she actually purchased the building not too long ago, and she had previously renovated with her own funds half of the building, which there will be some pictures in here, and you can see what that looks like. But the other side was a vacant barber shop, which still needed to be rehabbed, which is why we got an application. She's looking to put in some of her own money. That's a little bit of leverage. There would be bringing that vacancy. It's about 50% vacant now. That would be now 100% vacant, and it would also be leveraging at least one new job. She's at least talking to some new businesses that are interested in this space. So the loan would be for $10,500, and as you can see, that's about 50%. Some of the rehab would include electric, interior replacements, cabinet and counter, bath fixtures. And that is obviously the unrehabilitated side.
Looks like an old barber shop.
Doesn't
Wow.
do much. It's
Yeah.
a lot of work, but ceiling tile, I mean, you can see some staining there. The bathroom is really not much. And this is what she did with her side. And as you can see, the lighting, even some of the bathroom and the fixtures are just the ceiling, even small things like that. You can just see a lot of real detail, and she's having the same contractor do the same work. So it'll be very similar to what you're seeing here. And really, again, the benefits are just some of the, again, we're economic development, so we're looking for, we're more or less a safety net to have the private sector succeed and do their best work. So really it's, I mean, at the core of it, able to strengthen Grafton's downtown. I mean, this was a building that would have sat vacant without our program. It might have, who knows what would have happened, but thankfully, because of the board, and we're able to make the loan. And Andrew, I don't know if you want to add anything or make a comment.
Hi.
Good morning.
I want to thank you, all for approving this loan. It's going to be very helpful to me. The other side really needed to be fixed up, and I'm part of the Grafton movement to try to improve the downtown area. Hopefully, I'll know by the end of this week if I have a renter for the space. But and construction did start the other day, so it's already looking, it's down to the studs, so it's looking different, which I'm very excited about. So I want to thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and I think it's important to point out you're making an investment as well, too.
Right.
So,
Commissioners, you remember when we put this program together, it's when we applied for the second round of grant funding for the Main Street people in the larger cities, and it became very obvious to us that we could not apply for a grant for the smaller villages. So at least people get confused. This program isn't to go into Lorain, Elyria, and so on. This is mainly for our smaller villages that need assistance but are too small to actually be able to apply successfully for downtown grant money, much like we did it in Amherst, and then we applied for Oberlin. I see that Louis Kalo III came in. So together with both of you and Louis Kalo III, we put this program together, and Don's people have done a great job. And we did a story on that space about a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, when they had the dueling barbers in Grafton. It was in Pulse magazine. There was 2 barbershops there forever. And they were just within sight of each other, and I think for 25 or 30 years,
Wow.
So had this little competition going on. They were really great friends, but it was they were so close together. So it was really cool to have them down there as competitors, but as long-term friends. So I think you got one of those barbershops.
I did, yeah, Bob Verbota's barbershop, and so he retired recently, and I had already invested in my half. I have a sub-office law firm there, and so was afraid that somebody else was going to buy the building. So I thought, well, now's the time, and I wasn't sure if I was going to make my space bigger or rent it, but then I started getting some inquiries, so I think I'm going to hopefully rent it. So,
Good.
Yeah. I'm
could be a
excited.
new business concept. While giving legal advice, you get a haircut. It's just.
Exactly.
Well, sometimes you get legal advice to get a haircut.
That's true.
Sorry about that. We can't take any lost effort to pick on our attorney over here. So.
It's all good. It's all good.
Okay.
Well, thank you again.
Well, thank you.
Anything further?
Anything else, Reese? No, we're good? Okay, thank you.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Solid Waste approved district market development grant to Midview High School in the amount of $5,344 for softball, baseball, batting cage.
So move.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Approved contract with GT Environmental Inc. for consultant services in the amount of $90,000 effective January 1st, 2019 through December 31st, 2019.
So move.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Engineer advertised bids for various engineer highway department materials noticed in the Chronicle on February 8th and 15th and open on February 22nd.
So move.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Lundy. Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Public comment?
Anyone wishing to make public comment? Yes, come on up. You can use either podium, whichever one works best for you. It's- Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
I thought I would bring you a little saying to start with. Is this on? Yeah.
If you could just state your name and
Oh, I'm
where you
sorry.
live.
Theresa Shay. Do you want my address? 519 East Avenue, Elyria, Ohio.
Thank you.
My saying for the day is, remember it is better to light a candle than to curse the darkness. I come here on this day of rain, ice, and old snow to remind you, the commissioners and elected officials, that you have forgotten a whole segment of the population in Lorain County. When I come here, I speak for those I have met and those I have not. We need an effective and intricate system of buses to service those who need it. We will also need bus shelters. I met a young man who has a job as a counselor at Oberlin College, a positive, bright person. He rides his bike to his job 1.5 miles in the winter, in the summer, etc. I told him I would tell you about him. He wants to be heard, to change what you have ignored. Also, I was told by a friend who helps youth transition into the active workforce from low income or poverty about 2 young men who have walked to and from the classes 3 miles at least each day, both ways. It's winter. There are many unshoveled sidewalks, cold, snow, rain. Even with shelters and buses, it is hard to do things without a car. But people like them and people like me, we share in the citizenry of Lorain County and want to be treated like humans who matter and deserve a piece of the pie of sales tax and all. We deserve the respect of a proper transportation bus system. I know recently you started a bus loop in Elyria. You understood the need for a particular group. My group is not one you can understand. In Elyria, we need to build up buses that run every half hour on streets like Middle, East, and have a route that includes the mall, hospital, Big Lots, and Apples. First, the buses. Shelters are usually paid for by companies that seek advertising. When I first came here, I investigated transportation systems and called a company that had helped you in Columbus. They had come here and consulted at the beginning. Maybe Mr. Cordes knows who they are. They are very knowledgeable and could help you. Let them talk to me and others, and you have to change this situation. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any others wishing to make public comment this morning? Okay, seeing none. Would you like to do this morning? Sure.
You do? Okay.
Okay. Do you want to do the commissioners' reports first?
That's fine.
Okay.
Mr. Cordes?
Do you want anything this morning?
No, I have, I'll yield. I want to get right to it.
Okay.
Mr. Ennis?
I do have some pending litigation that have developed over the holidays that I need to update you on.
Did you sue Santa Claus?
No.
Commissioners report.
Well, Louis T. Kalo III left, and since then, our clerk decided to load us up with meetings. Since our last meeting,
Right.
we had, so you're missing all this, Ted, a Transportation Improvement District meeting, our Stormwater meeting, our Investment Advisory Committee meeting, the first hearing for the Grafton Road ditch, and our first land bank meeting of the year. So you missed all of that.
That was all last
He
week.
was at Land Bank.
Oh, that's right, you were at the land bank, I'm sorry. Yeah, and we also had a meeting with our partners and service providers that, talking about Recovery One. We're gonna meet with them again and hopefully come to some kind of resolution with that. Friday, I attended the North Ridgeville State of the City address, had a nice lunch and a lot of good information. The growth in North Ridgeville from, I think when he began at 23,000 people, now 33,000 people.
Right.
So North Ridgeville is just really growing. Condolences to John and Sherry Penna on the loss of their daughter Angela, who passed away on Tuesday. Watched that little girl grow up. She's beautiful inside and out, and she's going to be missed by so many people. Yesterday, I had a meeting with the Ohio State Extension Office. A lot of good information. I'm going to be working a little bit with our Community Development Department, I think, and we got a lot of good information there at OSU. And then last night, the Avon Lake Dems held a candidates night for Commissioner Kalo's, or Clerk of Court Kalo's position. Unfortunately, only one of the candidates were able to attend, and so hopefully we'll hear more for them. End of my report.
Okay. Just a quick update. Once again, NOACA continues to have discussions around improving transportation and transit in Ohio. I think it's important for the residents of Lorain County to know, as it relates to transit, that Ohio ranks 42nd when it comes to funding transit. They did their own study. ODOT conducted its own study and said it should be funding at a level of $120 million. I think currently funding at about $7 million. $7 million, $120 million. You can see the huge gap there, with the hope that eventually Ohio would be funding at about $180 million come 2025. What's important to point out is that transportation budget bill will start to hit the ground in Columbus in mid-February once they make appointments for committees. That transportation budget is generally $7 billion. That's with a B. And so, do the quick math there. $120 million out of the $7 billion transportation budget isn't exactly a lot of money for transit. So, that's where a lot of the concern and the blame needs to begin. We need to change the culture in Columbus. There are too many representatives there. Unfortunately, their feeling is that since their residents and the majority of the individuals they represent in rural areas don't use transit, the transit's not important. So the mindset needs to be changed in Columbus, also changed with ODOT, and we'll start making our best efforts to hopefully change their minds. I was unable to attend the State of the City address because of being at NOACA in Cleveland, but I understand Dave Gillock, Mayor Gillock, did a great job again, and had sent him a text message after I learned about his retirement. Always enjoyed working with Mayor Gillock when I was a state representative, and now as a county commissioner. Always been a pretty easy guy to work with. I always tell the story about I called him one day when we were getting money into the capital budget for the historic old town hall that they have in North Ridgeville, where they have the community theater, and I called him on a Saturday and had talked to the governor's office and said, I think we're going to be able to get you about $150,000, $175,000 to help make some improvements to the building. And he said, Matt, is there any way we could, talk about this maybe a little bit later in the day? I'm in a changing room right now trying on a pair of pants. So I always told people your mayor is always on the job, even when he's changing clothes in a dressing room there. So, but it's always been nice working with him. I just want to say thanks to all the first responders, all the road crews. Everybody was out there pushing snow over the weekend. I mean, the way it was blowing and drifting and everything else, it was quite a challenge. And I think we went up to a level 2. On our roads here in the county, but just want to thank all the crews and all the first responders and everybody who had to work in that weather. Also, congratulations to everybody who put together very important MLK Day commemorations. Also, I was at the meeting last night where they were hoping to host all the individuals who are hoping to be sitting in this chair and being appointed to the as the next county commissioner. I had asked them last night, and I guess I'll say it now publicly, that I just think it's important when we go through this process that each one of these individuals talk about themselves, not necessarily talk about, their opponents, and that they realize that, once everything settles and a decision is made, that they need to move forward and, work collectively together. I was disappointed by some comments made after a recent appointment because I think there's a process. The process was followed, the decision was made, and you have to, respect and honor the process. That's why the process is in place, and the same thing will take place, in this matter here too. So hope everybody will talk about themselves, not talk about the others, and understand that when it's all over, everybody's got to work together. And that completes my report.
speaking of the transit loop, I'm not sure if Ms. Shay was aware, but it kind of sounded like she thought it was just for a certain group of people, but the loop is actually for anybody
Free.
downtown that wants to get on the bus to get around. So just to be clear, anybody that needs to get around in downtown Elyria, it's free, and you can get on and get off wherever you need to. So, and there's 2 buses traveling around and hopefully getting everybody where they need to be, especially like with the snow and the slush and all that. So hopefully it's helpful.
Board correspondence?
I would make the motion that we waive the reading.
Second?
Discussion. Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
At this time, we'd like to call forward either Louis Kalo or Ted Kalo, whoever he is today. So, just wanted to read this proclamation in the matter of honoring and expressing our best wishes to Louis Ted Kalo III for outstanding and dedicated services as Lorain County Commissioner for 2005 through 2019. I know you've done many of these. You'd probably be yelling at me if I read the whole thing, so
Yes,
I won't
I would.
read the whole thing. I won't read any of the embellished parts either in here, but
Thank you.
but no.
Was that fact check?
So, but
Fake news.
yeah, but we would like to say, whereas Ted was an advocate and dedicated worker, performing his duties as commissioner with outstanding capabilities and expertise of management to achieve an efficient public office of trust and concerns for the problem that came before him. We hereby honor and express our appreciation to you for your outstanding professionalism and dedication while serving as commissioner for the county of Lorain on this day, the 23rd day of January. And it's only signed by 2 commissioners. Probably the only time somebody got one of these only signed by 2 commissioners. But
Could be a lot of firsts, no, Commissioner.
but you created this problem, so.
Yeah, I know.
And I, but at this point.
One of many here at the county,
yeah.
right, Jerry? Jerry always bailed me out, so.
Like to share a few words with us?
Just a few. I brought a
Okay.
few comments.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. I yield my
Mr.
time.
Mr. Cordes and Jerry will get that.
Yeah, uh-huh.
I promise, my comments won't be as long as Commissioner Lundy's reports.
I knew that was coming.
Thank you. It's good to be back here today. Just say thank you to everybody. 14 years Commissioner. It's been a good run. I've enjoyed working with all of the elected officials that we work with. It's been good to keep the county operating. And to the residents of the county, thank you for letting me serve you. We have done a lot of good things for our community. The millions of dollars in infrastructure improvements we brought to this county. The policy changes in a bipartisan way at the state of Ohio to help our budget issues here, whether it's indigent funding or the myriad of job and family service issues that were brought in here. It's been a pleasure working on that. One of our keystone moments, I think, was the County Land Bank, cleaning up our neighborhoods, getting that together. It's working successfully. When we first started, actually Attorney DeWine, now Governor DeWine, actually honored us as the best performing land bank in the state of Ohio. Something to be proud of. But I couldn't have done the job without everybody in the office. Let's see who we got here. Okay, Mr. DeMontia, thank you for coming. It's always good to work with the Boys and Girls Club also. First of all, the people who kept me organized in my office, so it ran smooth. Tony Ann Shanahan. My schedule, my travel, my agendas. Without her, it never would run, so thank you much. Sandy Strosak, the 4th Commissioner, the person who actually makes everything run in county government, keeps us all straight, including the county administrator. Couldn't have done it without Sandy. She's sort of like the glue that holds everything together up here, I think. She keeps the front office running, transportation, center scheduling. She just does a wonderful job. All the department heads, Lisa in budget, Karen facilities, Ernie computers, Dan and Keith in solid waste. We got recycling going, raise those numbers way up over the years. Don Romancak and Jerry in our community development, economic development, the things they do and what we've accomplished working with not only our small communities, but now partnering with the large communities, which in the past we had never done. I'm looking for great things, and being back in downtown Lorain, I see a lot of that action going on and things that we participated in. So Don, you've done a great job. Mike Challenger with the sustainability, the lead co efforts, now Solid Waste Collection Center. Tim Pilblad, the dog kennel, amazing. Mary Lou and then Barb, Job and Family Services, how we kept that place running and they've stayed up to date, and the employees that work there and what they've got done providing services to our residents. And the list goes on and on. It's hard to name every employee. Hope I didn't miss anybody, but again, it's been a pleasure working here with you guys, and you've done a great job. Can't leave out my favorite prosecutor, Jerry, in his office. Kept me on the right path over the years. We didn't always agree, but we found a way to work for the betterment of the community and get some things done. I came in as a small business guy, trying to put those applications in, and sometimes Jerry would tell me, Ted, you can't do that in government. Well, Jerry, how do we get it done then? Help me out, and he did a great job. But again, it's been a great run. You guys have done a great job working with me. It's been a pleasure being an elected official. Boy, people I can't forget. Let's see. Betty, Mom. I remember my first days here, how she helped me get through those days. Mom.
We did.
How she got me through those days. Always enjoyed her busting Jim's chops. There was nothing better when Betty was on a tirade and Jim was the target, so it was always fun. You got it exactly. Yeah. Betty, Jim, Jim.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Even Tom Williams with his differing opinions. He brought a voice to the table. But now the team I have now, Matt, thank you. Shorten up your reports at the end of the day. You've done a great job your first couple of years in, 4 years in, so I guess you'd be the junior commissioner. Lori was always the senior, I was the junior.
Yeah.
Based on our time, so I guess you're the junior one now.
Yeah.
Keep up what you're doing. 14 years.
Almost like a divorce.
Yeah, but what you don't know.
Amicable.
Well, you know, she's moving into your office.
I know. I have a better view. I don't know how I got it. I think it was to keep Lori and Betty separated when we moved, so I was sort of like in the
You're
middle.
the thorn.
You were the thorn.
I was the
between
thorn,
roses.
okay, between two roses. Wild, fulfilling, great time. Jim, thank you for helping me be a commissioner.
Been
You
an
taught
honor.
me government. What a ride. I'm going to get to Theresa yet.
okay.
I'm not forgetting Theresa. She's got to be down the end because she's the one who keeps this entire commissioner stuff going.
Yeah.
Keeps everything in order, keeps our minutes, makes us do our job, schedules all our meetings to make sure we show up and actually get it done for the residents of the county. So
Yeah.
thank you, everybody. Thank the residents. Thank everybody here. Thanks.
We'd like to come out and present this to you, take a picture with you.
Sure.
In case you become famous someday, we want to have a picture.
Well, he already is. It's
Infamous.
Louis T. Kalo III now.
Depends who we're talking to in Lorain. And I am enjoying my new position. Totally different, but it's a great new position. I like serving the residents of Lorain, Sheffield Lake, and Sheffield Township. Yeah.
It was too weird.
Oh, goodness.
You know, Commissioners, one of my fondest memories of when we had a whole wave of elected officials come in, including you and Ted in 2005, was when I think within a week of Ted being commissioner, he came into my office, the old one, and he said, now we've had some disagreements in county government. He says to me, he goes, you run the county and I'll take care of the relationships because I can get along with anybody. Okay, how long did that last, Ted?
Couple of weeks.
And I've never forgotten that, and I said to him, I said, okay, that's fine, but you're going to find out pretty quick that it's not just getting along with them, it's doing what they want, or they're not going to get along with you. And I think it was a few months later, maybe several, that he came in, he goes, this ain't working. So thank you, Commissioner Kalo, for 14 years of working together. As I said in December, it's been a privilege and an honor. And serving with you, I think, I'm trying to think how long I was served with Betty. It's about the similar amount of time. So it looks like I'm going to be spending more time with Commissioner Kokoski over any other commissioner, because you got a few more years to go. Hopefully I will be. But you know where we are if we need something. And we need you on a couple of our boards, too. We've talked about that, because we need that. I went to NOACA Friday, and I did exactly what you said. You said, sit there, shut up, and nod every time Grace tells you what to do. It was nice, and I talked to her real briefly. I think your presence there is going to be significantly missed. There was a lot of new people there, and Matt was sitting next to me, and I could see a lot of bewildered looks around the room.
Yeah.
But thank you.
And thank you for always doing the CCAO. I was not a big fan of traveling down to Columbus, but the last few years I've been going, and now I am on the board, and it's kind of a nice time for me to do that since Julie, is the president, so we have a female president coming in, and we're going to have a women's caucus, and hopefully we'll get a lot of good things done. So thank you for doing that. And the policy committee for solid waste, you always sat on that. So we all kind of had our little things that we did, and so now we got to pick up where you left off, hopefully.
Yeah, thank you for your amazing service. Did a lot of good things here, and I know you'll continue to do a lot of good things in Lorain. And I know Loraine's very near and dear to your heart, and so it's like being back home, I'm sure. Even though it's not too far away from here, but it's like being back home. And your head and heart is always in the right place, always taking care of people, concerned about families, and making sure people in the county are kept safe. So, but can't thank you enough for all that you've done and for helping the rookie here through his rookie season. So learned a lot of very valuable lessons from you. Some I can't repeat in the room, but I learned a lot of valuable lessons from you. So, but we definitely appreciate all that you've done.
Ate a lot of rotten pizza together.
So yeah, we ate a lot of pizza together.
We're not
too.
having pizza anymore.
So, any other business at this time? If not, I'll make the motion that we move into executive session based upon the comments of the legal counsel and the county administrator.
I'll second.
Mr. Lundy,
Aye.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
This has been a broadcast of the recent Lorain County Commissioners' General Meeting. Unless otherwise announced, meetings are held Wednesday morning at 9:30 at the Administration Building, 226 Middle Avenue, 4th floor, downtown Elyria. These are public meetings, and you are invited to attend. Agendas are posted prior to the meeting at www.loraincounty.us. Click on Departments to see the Commissioners page, then click on View Agenda for a printable copy of the agenda.